You want to be an emergency room doctor. You want to assess the trauma, stabilize the patient, and make split-second decisions when every moment counts. But right now, you are an 8th grade international student in the IB curriculum, looking at a medical training journey that will take at least a decade. The path to get there isn't universal. How and when you become a doctor depends entirely on where you study, as the United States and the United Kingdom offer two distinct structures. Let's look at the timeline. Both paths start right where you are now, but they branch off immediately after high school. The UK pathway moves fast. You enter medical school directly out of high school, completing your undergraduate medical education in 5 to 6 years. The US pathway builds in a delay. You must complete a 4-year bachelor's degree, your pre-med years, before you even apply to a 4-year medical school, making it an 8-year minimum commitment. For an international student, selecting a destination is a strategic calculation about when to lock in a career, how to test, and how to navigate systemic immigration choke points. The UK uses a direct entry model. You skip the general undergraduate degree entirely and begin clinical and scientific medical training on day 1. This requires you to be absolutely certain you are committing to a highly demanding, lifelong career at 17 years old. Because of that direct pipeline, the universities expect near-flawless high school academics. If you target top-tier schools like Oxford or Cambridge, you need IB scores in the 39 to 42 plus range to be considered. In the US, the postgraduate model breaks the journey into pieces. You spend 4 years earning a standard bachelor's degree before setting foot in medical school. This grants you time. You gain a traditional college experience, academic flexibility to explore other subjects, and 4 more years of maturity before making a permanent career choice. But that time is expensive. You're adding 4 full years of undergraduate tuition and living expenses to your timeline before you even begin paying for medical education. This chart shows the international bottleneck. The UK government strictly caps international medical students at 7.5% of total admissions. It is a harsh limit, but it is transparent. In the US, the odds plummet. Very few American medical schools accept international students without a green card or citizenship. If you do secure a seat, you are locked out of US federal financial aid. Most programs require you to prove you have the cash on hand to pay for all 4 years of medical school upfront. The US pathway for an international student is practically closed without massive wealth or extraordinary credentials, whereas the UK pathway is highly competitive but transparently achievable with top stats. That brings us to the entrance exams. They test completely different parts of your brain. The UK requires the UCAT, which you take in the summer before your final year of high school. This chart breaks down the UCAT. It relies entirely on cognitive subtests: verbal reasoning, decision-making, and quantitative reasoning. Notice what's missing. There's no biology, chemistry, or physics. The UCAT evaluates high-speed logic and mental agility under strict time limits. It finishes with a situational judgment section, measuring your understanding of medical ethics, patient safety, and clinical workplace dilemmas. You cannot passively read a textbook to pass this. It demands a highly disciplined 2-month window of intense mock testing to master the logic patterns. The US requires the MCAT, taking years later during your university pre-med studies. The MCAT is a grueling 7.5-hour marathon. It tests your retention of heavy university-level sciences, dropping organic chemistry, physics, and biochemistry into complex reading passages. The UK tests how you think right now in high school, while the US tests what you have retained after years of university-level science. Let's assume you pass the exams, get accepted, and graduate medical school. You still are not an ER doctor. In the UK, your specialization starts with a mandatory 2-year foundation training period, where you rotate through different departments to build clinical competence. After those 2 years, you begin a gradual transition into specialized acute care and emergency medicine training within the NHS, gaining responsibility over time. In the US, there is no gradual transition. Upon graduating medical school, you must immediately secure an emergency medicine residency. This is handled by a national algorithm known as the match. Thousands of medical students apply, interview, and rank their preferred ER programs, while hospitals rank the students. If the algorithm doesn't pair you with an ER program, you fail to match. You are left scrambling for any open residency slot in the country, often in a specialty you never intended to practice. The US system forces an all-or-nothing gamble at the exact moment you graduate. while the UK offers a more gradual, service-based on-ramp to the emergency room. So what do you do with this information right now, in the 8th grade? This matrix evaluates your path based on your timeline. Are you prepared to lock into medicine in high school, or do you need postgraduate flexibility? If yes, follow the UK path. Focus on mastering IB fundamentals for top scores and building speed reading habits. Do not worry about memorizing university-level medical science right now. Read newspapers, dense articles, and complex texts to build the rapid comprehension skills you will need for the UCAT. If you need more time and lean toward the US path, your action items are profile building and extracurricular leadership. American admissions committees look heavily at narrative. You must research shadowing opportunities, pursue leadership roles, and build an application proving your character. For a non-US citizen, the UK direct entry pathway is the statistically realistic route to the ER. The US pathway is an arduous, high-risk marathon that should only be chosen if you require undergraduate flexibility and possess the extreme financial backing to overcome the international admission odds.